are live. Yes, we are live now. Let's see here. Five watching now. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Dave Sincere. Hey, man. What's going on?
Oh, I clicked on the wrong video. There you go.
What is up? Aeon and Didi Overton. What's going on, man?
Can I do a
Alex, glad to meet you on time.
But not watch the video? Uh-oh. It doesn't work like that. Oh, no, it does.
Charlie Brown is in the house. Hey, Sully.
Woo!
So we're currently in the pre-show phase right now until we start, I guess, 7:45. We're just gonna kick it off 'cause we're starting off late today.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I've got stuff going on, and it's still going on right now as we speak. But technically, 7:30 was the end of the event, but it's still going on.
Well, I came running from NAB back to the hotel room. So.
It's all my fault. I'm taking Jason away from all the fun toys out there.
You know what? It's open till the convention hall is open till 6 p.m. So we thought it was going to close at 4, but we got some good amount of time in today. So yeah, those backgrounds look different. Yeah, Danny and I are shooting in different locations right now. That's what's great about Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. We can just do it anywhere, literally.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of one of the big things about this. You know, is there any, well, I guess the show hasn't really started yet, but anything that catch your eye over there, or you see any celebrities out there, anything?
I saw Brandon Lee from Linus Tech Tips. He was on the prowl. He was working.
Brandon, not the...
No, not Vimeo Brandon. Linus Tech Tip Brandon.
Okay.
He was shooting. I was fangirling a little bit. I wanted to approach him for a picture, but he was a little busy.
Really busy.
Ran into Chung Da. He runs a YouTube channel as well. If you guys are familiar with him.
Doesn't he do Photo Gear News?
No, that's Dan Chun.
Got it.
And that was my mistake too. I met him and I called him by a different name. It was so embarrassing. Oh, I missed Locke by 6 hours at the Sony booth.
Oh, 6 hours though.
Yeah, like literally, like one of the Sony rep there. He was like, oh, yeah. By the way, Locke was at our booth 6 hours ago. You just totally missed him. I was like, I was still on the road. He was touching the A9. I was like, oh my god, I missed Locke again.
Someday you'll meet him.
No, I didn't see Jason Lanier, and I think I just watched one of Strawn's Vanderplau.
I've never heard that name. Who is that?
I don't know. I think his suggested video just popped up, so I watched a little bit of it. I think he did like a 3-hour live stream at NAB. Holy crap.
Hey, folks, if you're on the live stream right now, if you want to help us out, go ahead and, if you can, give the video a like to get some more visibility on this video. And again, we are almost getting to the actual show. We're just a few minutes away, so. Anything else you noticed out there, Jason?
To answer Dave's question, no, I didn't see Jason Lanier. Animos has a huge presence. Animos has a huge booth. Canon probably has the biggest. We haven't seen Nikon, right?
No,
we haven't seen Nikon. Sony has a pretty good corner booth. It's pretty big, pretty dark there as well. In terms, oh, look at that, handy dandy guide. Nothing I saw personally really stood out. I was just mainly at the the Jiyun booth, and also the Sony booth. Which this, by the way, this mobile phone gimbal thing is actually pretty cool. This thing's legit. I'm gonna get one. $139.
Do they have like the products there for you just to be able to buy, or how does that?
No. So they unfortunately don't have product. I don't think most of the booths don't actually sell anything. It's just like a product demo area. But some do. Some definitely does sell some stuff. But for the most part, they'll just redirect you to a retail store.
Got it.
So,
No, that's awesome. Man, I'm hoping you bump into some more some of the YouTube celebs out there in the.
oh man, yeah. I want to talk to Brandon so bad, but he's just working with his A7S too. Just yeah,
Sully,
like he
Sully said, Dave Dugdale was there. Was Gary Fong?
I knew it. We just suck at running into people. Like NAB is like, I would say 5 times bigger than WPPI, right? People, traffic, booths, so much bigger than WPPI. There's just so much more to see. It's insane.
Man, I gotta make my way out there next year. Shoot.
Yeah, dude, man, you gotta come out, Danny.
I wonder if you're gonna meet like, I don't know if like Max Yurev's going out there, or even what's their face, Camera Store TV.
I don't know if they're out there. I kind of, yeah, good question. I feel like they should be though. Casey Neistat is not here, or maybe he is. I don't know.
Oh, Sully, you're gonna go out there next year?
Yeah,
I just got to schedule in advance. Hopefully, there's nothing that's gets in the way of it.
3 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Just if you can at least come out for like 1 day.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I'll probably just like say any other YouTubers out there that want to meet up. One big collabo video. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. All right, almost ready to start the show. How's everybody doing out there? As you know, when we start off our show, we're going to start off with our quick intro. We're actually doing that right now. Is new gear of the week. And we'd really love if you could share with us in the chat what new gear or equipment you got recently. And we'll do the same, Jason Vong and I, and we'll go ahead and dissect some of that. But again, we'd love to hear what you have to say. And don't forget to go ahead and give the video a like, a thumbs up, if you haven't done so already. All right. Max is there, Sully says. So Max Yurev is there.
I'm hoping to run into people tomorrow.
How long are you planning to be there?
I'm gonna be there till Wednesday, so I'll leave Wednesday night. So yeah, gonna be doing some coverage. Gonna get some. I want to talk to Sony and see if I can get some one-on-one time with the A9. Ooh. At least away from the crowd, so I can focus on maybe getting some nice B-roll. So
nice. Well, you said they know you. They're aware of you.
They are a few of the tech reps do know me, do know of me. They're just like, hey, you make those YouTube videos, and I'm like, oh shoot.
No, that's cool. They're on your at least you know you're on the radar. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty awesome.
I'm sure they know you too, man. They probably thought I was you. You know.
They're like, this guy stole the truck. How do you get the predictions down? It's like I had to give some false answers so they wouldn't know from our last live show when I had the A9, right?
You were pretty spot on, man.
I don't know. You got some good call outs there with the battery, and I was like, oh snap, that might be proof battery, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I can talk more about it when we hit up that topic.
All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting our Monday live show a little bit late today. It's 7:46 Pacific Standard Time. We started the show late, a lot on my part because I was a little bit busy, had some school stuff to take care of, but we're on the show now. I'm here with Jason Vong, and if you haven't done so already, Jason, how can they find you in your social media outlets and on YouTube?
Jason Vong, spelled V-O-N-G. You can't go wrong with Jason Vong.
There you go, and hopefully we'll have shirts like that next week, right, Jason?
Get that printed out, send it to me. Hashtag.
I think someone commented, was it Michael? He said Danny the Don or something like that is recommended. My recommended name, Danny the Don.
Danny the Don. What does that mean?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Might because I pre-ordered, but we'll get to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, if you're just jumping into the live stream, please go ahead and share your new gear. If you got any new gear this past week or in the last couple weeks, if we haven't seen that yet, let us know, and Jason and I will go ahead and dissect and point some of those out. But right now, we're going to jump to Jason and figure out what new gear he just got.
So I got what you actually recommended to me. I asked for your opinion, and I actually got myself the small rig cage for the A6500. Look at this thing. Got a nice little handle right here. This is you know, a beast. I actually really love how well constructed this is, and thank you for that. Thank you for making a video, because this thing is toolless. You don't need anything to assemble this cage, which I really love a lot. This whole thing costs like maybe $100. And the previous $100 cage that I bought for my GH4, that thing was flimsy as hell. Like, you would have to assemble these 4-piece things, and it would just like rattle like crazy. Like the screws weren't even tight, so I couldn't trust this thing. So I got this for the 6500. This thing is awesome, really well built. I definitely like it. Right now, I don't have the monitor setup and the mic setup, but if you want to see how this whole thing looks, check out what's in my bag video that I put out literally this morning. So
I saw that.
Yeah, I actually didn't sleep until 3 a.m. last night, because I was like, I wrote the video, shot the video, edited the video from the morning till like almost 1 a.m. just to get that out. I was like, oh. But yeah, go check it out. Work hard on that one.
All right. Thanks, Jason, for sharing that. I recently got something that was recommended by Jason Vong.
We're just recommending each other stuff. That's great.
And I was in the market for a new bag. I was using the Sony DSLR bag. I mean, it's small and it's always worked. I've never had any problems, but I was starting to notice a little bit of tear on it, and people were commenting my what's in my bag video. They were saying there's no padding in that thing. I mean, you're carrying like tens of like a few $1,000s worth of gear. So I upgraded to the Peak Design bag.
Hold on. All right, continue.
All right, here we go. This is the 30L model right here.
20L right here.
I still got the tags on it, just in case, just in case I send it back. But overall, for now, I'm really liking the bag, and I think I just got to get a little bit used to it. I do like the compartmentalization inside of it. I can pack, a decent amount of equipment. It feels just a little smaller because I have a 10 Barodi bag that's really big, but that's obviously because it's a much bigger bag. But this one does pack a lot of stuff in it if you just pack it in correctly. So that's the stuff I recently got.
So you said you got a 30L, right?
Because I saw a video of this Asian guy who was like 6 feet tall, and he put the bag on, and I was like, I think I'll go with the 30L bag. So
all right. So what did you pack in the bag?
I was able to pack A7R2, the 85-18, 10-18, my 2 extenders, the 7200 G Master.
Wow.
My Dell Alienware, which is like 3 or 4 pounds. I didn't have a Mac in there.
You have a Mac and an Alienware in there?
No. I just packed it. When I went to San Diego, a conference in San Diego, I packed the Dell Alienware because that one I used for my editing. So I brought that out. It would have been easier. It's kind of a tight fit with the Dell Alienware because it's a little bit thicker. But I know the MacBook slides right through. It just slides right into the
the bag. Very clean. Yeah.
So, but so far, it feels really comfortable. Like, and having it on, it feels very secure, in my opinion. So, I'll put it through its paces for this coming year. So, we'll see. I'm just worried about because I usually put my stuff on the floor when I'm out at a sporting event. My other bag, my 10 Barodi bag, had like this surface on the bottom that's waterproof, so you could put it on a surface that was wet and it'd be okay. But I've had that bag for like 4 years and it's starting to tear. So it's done its job for the longest time.
Cool.
So, all right.
Awesome.
let's go ahead and jump into the comments and see what people got. Nick K says he just got the Sony Alpha 6500. Awesome. Highly recommended camera. Dave Sincere, you guys talked about the Godox 8200 a few weeks ago. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on it. If you got the cash, Dave, go for it.
I definitely can recommend it. A lot of my photography friends who use it, they really like it a lot. It does not replace the 600 for sure, but it's still a very good light.
And let's see here. WRX Mike says he went on a spending spree and got the Fuji X-T2 and the 35mm.
Oh, that's what you wanted. My friend Winston is back here. He wants the X-T2.
Oh, snap. Nice. You know what? I really got to try that camera. I got to give it a chance. I mean, I've never used the Fuji system, so definitely got to find a time to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to hold off on the questions for the time being. So when we get to the question portion, just go ahead and drop the question in again later, and we'll go ahead. Jason and I will go ahead and try and answer those. Let's see here. Let's see. Tag the Shooter says, Jason Vong, stop copying me. I told you to get to Cage long ago.
Did you? Oh, man. Sorry, man. I never thought I needed a cage until like a couple days ago. So that's why I got it.
Let's see. MavFan1 says, I didn't get new gear, but I finally took the plunge and sold off the last of my Canon gear. Oh boy. I'll definitely get into talking about that a little later when we start talking about the camera today. Let's see. Dave Sincere says, you guys will have to write your names on those so you don't get confused which one's yours. So
it has happened. Well, with a messenger bag, I've got it. A photographer that I was shooting a wedding with always went to my bag instead of his bag because they just look alike. And he just like popped that open. Oh, bunch of Sony gear, not mine.
Yeah, you know what's weird? I thought mine would have had like the grips, like the straps that you pull. I thought I was gonna have like the brown ones or something like that. I mean, on the bag, unless it's a different color, like you see this little hand grip here.
Yeah,
I thought maybe it was just a different color.
It's a different color. It's a different color. Yeah. Yeah, that one has a blue accent to it. Yours is the red accent, same as mine.
Got it.
Yeah.
Dave Sincere says, you got a kitchen sink in there too, Jason?
No. Bathroom sink, yeah. It's circus. It's really janky here.
Oh, I've been there a few times. I know the deal. Hey, whatever works, man. You got to save on the expenses.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Grab a good deal. Shadow David 88 says, I can grab a good deal on an A7R2 for $2,000. Should I go for it? I'm a cheapskate and I'm currently using a Sony Alpha 6000. Jason,
I think so. Yeah, it's a good price. 2,000. I mean, like you can get a gray market one for 2,200 now, so you can get that one for 2,000. Is it used or new?
Yeah.
Either way, that's a really good price.
Yeah, I think the prices are starting to dip for if you're going with like the gray market stuff. It's dipping already, so I think you're not gonna have a hard time. Let's see. Tag the Shooter says Peak Design shoulder bags are better for events. That's what I have.
I would agree. I would agree on that as well.
Dave Sincere says I have a Tenba DNA 15 bag. I love it. It's more of a messenger bag. Cool. Oh, you know, another thing about the Peak Design bag is that mine stood up straight, which was nice. Which is nice. I like that. But what's weird, when I took the laptop out, it tipped over. So the laptop has to be in the bag.
It would make sense for the back support.
Yeah. Let's see. Zoom Chris says he's got to go. Zoom Chris, we'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks for stopping by, Zoom.
All right, we're going to go ahead and tackle the big time news. And again, we will tackle the questions. Just go ahead and drop them in later in the show. And again, if you are just joining the show right now with Jason Vong and I, don't forget to go ahead and give the video a thumbs up to get some more visibility. We definitely appreciate that. And if you don't know right now, Jason Vong is at NAB. So he's definitely going to be bringing you guys some really fun stuff on his channel in the coming days. Hold up that sign again, Jason, and say something so they can see it.
NAB. This is the NAB brochure. This is the best that I got. Woo! Dang, look at that.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the whoa!
Yeah, now you saw it.
Whoa. We just got a oh boy. We just got dropped some $20 from Phenom Vapes. Holy crap. Thank you, man. He says, thank you both for all the content. Just got my Alpha 6500 2 weeks ago. Stumbled across your channel and stocked up on lenses and accessories after watching your videos. Keep it up, gents.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Phenom Vapes, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Super appreciate that. Now Jason Vong, Jack can split the $10 with Jason Vong the next time I see him. Right. We can get a slightly better lunch than McDonald's. So really, thank you.
All right.
Okay. And by the way, Jason Vong and I do plan on meeting up over the summer, so we'll get that all situated, and we could probably do a meetup or something if you people are in the area. So, all right.
Just really quickly, there might be an A9 event in LA, so let's try to make a meetup happen if and when that happens.
Yeah, folks, if you're there, if there's an A9 drop, I'm going. As long as there's nothing major there, yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's just take the A9 just to get it right out of the store. All right. Okay. Sony A9, folks, we know it dropped. When did it officially get announced? It was
20th. It was 19 for America, 20th in London.
Got it. You know, it was really crazy. I was at work. I didn't know what the heck was going on, and then all of a sudden, I was like, oh crap, I got to check Sony Alpha rumors. You know, I was like busy at work, and I had a little bit of time, and I was like, Sony A9 drops. And I was just like, I had the biggest grin on my face. I cannot tell you how many people were doubting the release of the A9. And I was just laughing and laughing. I didn't even have time to check all the specs. I just said, it said sports, 20 FPS. And I was like, oh crap, it finally happened. Jason, where were you when the launch happened?
It was 7:50 in the morning. I literally just got out of bed. I was like browsing my phone, like my morning. It was my morning ritual. I was on the phone. Sony Alpha rumor says 11 a.m. Sony A9 is gonna get announced. I was like, oh shoot! Just shot out of bed, turn on the freaking live stream, and I was like, and literally like when the stream was just happening, I just saw so many sports images just spitting into my face, and I was just like, Danny's gonna get this camera. Danny's gonna get this camera. Oh man, they're gonna announce it, and boom, A9 sports camera. I was like, ooh,
oh shit,
so high. That day, I literally was like A9 high. I was just like walking around, just so amped about it. It was such an amazing news that day.
Yeah, folks, those of you that are on the chat, let us know as you're going through your thoughts on the Sony A9. Your general feelings about it. What do you think it's going to have as far as the impact on Sony mirrorless in the future? Are you going to get one? What are you going to sell? Are you going to sell your kidney? What your kids, whatever, just let me know. We'd love to hear what you're planning to do. But yeah, this camera, I was just blown away. I mean, as soon as when they showed like no blackout, 20 frames per second, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I made sure it said full autofocus at 20 frames per second because there's always a catch.
Yeah.
But now with the A9.
I mean, yeah, there's 20 frames per second, but the writing buffer still gets me a little bit worried. They're saying like it will lock up your menu. It'll still lock up your menu, but you'll see a progress meter telling you how much of the photos have been written and how many that still needs to be written. So there's still that, but just keep that in mind that when it's writing to the card, you will have the menu will be locked. You can't change anything.
If there's something, if you can actually test that, Jason, I'd like to see that. If there's even a card in there, right?
There's a card. It's all JPEGs though. You can't. Okay. I can only shoot JPEGs. No.
That's cool too. Just run the JPEGs.
Yeah,
and just see how long it takes to load off.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll shoot JPEG. I think for the most part, yeah, I'll definitely test it out. I don't want to say anything yet. I'll test it out.
All right, awesome. So the camera wasn't bigger. I was like saying, okay, the camera's gonna get a little bit bigger. From what I'm hearing, it got a little bit heavier, slightly thicker. But you know, while I'm at it, Jason, it's
Yeah.
the overheating. That is the one. You need to take one of those A9s and get the first overheating test done, because we don't know what's gonna happen.
All right, for sure. So just writing back to what you said in regards to the body being a little bit bigger, I didn't feel the difference. Like literally, when I picked it up, I felt like I was holding an A7R II. Like I kid you not, it felt literally almost like the same camera. It's like what 0.3 meters bigger. I forgot what he said, but it was just the size was just not that much of a difference, literally, and it felt really comfortable on the grip. All the buttons are really nice, and yeah, it's gonna be solid. But overheating, again, it's a pre-production model, so if it does overheat, that could be the reason as well. But we'll see. So overheating in video, right? You want to find out if it overheats in the video mode.
Here's the thing. I don't think anyone's pointed this out yet. Okay.
Okay.
This is a first. This is a first. I don't think any YouTuber has mentioned this yet.
Okay.
And I thought about it, but they did mention this. There is no Play Memories app on the camera.
Ooh.
You know what that means, right? You can't do the unlimited hack.
Ouch.
So you can't do the unlimited time hack because there's no Play Memories app to begin with. So when I first heard the fact that there was no Play Memories app on the actual camera, I said, freaking Sony, man, you gotta be kidding me. So do I really shoot long form all the time? It doesn't happen too often, but it would be nice if I'm dropping this much money to have this camera be able to do it too.
Right.
But now able to. It's just weird. It's just strange.
That's weird. They're omitting that as well. You know what? I'm gonna make a note on it, and I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna see what they're gonna say, unless someone has already asked already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll ask them about that. That's kind of strange to omit Play Memories. Like I get it. I get why they remove S-Log, which we'll probably talk about in a bit. Play Memories seems like something that doesn't really. That's weird to me.
I know they think they incorporated the intervalometer already into the camera because of the fact that there's no Play Memories app, but it's kind of like you're restricting the camera from being able to get other features through the App Store. But I feel like maybe they're just trying to prevent any type of weird things being done to the camera. But I mean, I don't know. You're dropping all this money for that camera already. So
I mean, is there an official statement that they're dropping Play Memories?
I think it's just the A9. I really think it's just the A9.
I'll see. Get you guys that inside scoop.
Yeah, Jason Vong. Actually, we'll get to that, but I mean, if you have questions, like get Jason Vong to ask him. Let him know. I mean,
yeah, let me know.
Just harass Sony. I mean, just be kind to Sony, and you'll be good. You'll be good. And I'm kind of jealous that he's out there. I wish I was out there, but
well. Danny.
I'll just fly out right now. Just find a plane right now.
2 more days. 2 more days. Come out.
All right. So we are now jumping up to the next topic. Oh, let's take a look at the comment section really quick. While we're diving in there.
Wait, before we move on, I just want to say that joystick on that camera is amazing. It moves that point so fast. I think it's faster than me actually poking on my A60 button. It is amazing. Yes.
You know what? That's amazing. I was looking at it visually. It didn't look comfortable at all, but I'm glad you got to actually use the joystick on there.
Yeah, it's good. It's legit. I like it a lot.
Okay, that's awesome. Let's see here. Let's see. Going into the questions. Dave Sincere says, "Ha ha ha! I knew Danny was going to get the camera."
You know what? I might actually get the camera too. If no one's gonna stop me, I might get that camera because it's okay. No S-Log because I mainly shoot like on a creative style on the A7R II anyway. So maybe, I don't know yet. I might sell my A7R2 to get the A9, but that's giant maybe. Giant maybe.
The only tough thing about it is that you know that within a year, that price is going to be slashed by almost $1,000, maybe,
Oh shoot.
possibly.
Oh man.
It's a really big investment, especially. But then again, I mean, I'm saying $1,000 on the gray market, but since we're doing pro support, I think we're gonna have to stick with the, definitely the US version. So, gotta
Oh,
sell some stuff. Yeah.
I forgot. I just want to bring up the autofocus, the sensitivity level. You can actually pick. You can pick 1 to 5. 5 being super responsive and 1 being locked on. So if you try to focus, well, if you're at sensitivity 1 and you lock focus on like one person, it'll stick on that person no matter where you go. But 5, it would jump around. It would try to focus whatever it can grab. So that's pretty crazy. And as far as the video autofocus, it works really well as well. I see it having no issues trying to get focus in the dark. Normally, when you're trying to focus on like something that's like really black, it doesn't really pick up the focus. But this one, it was so dark at the Sony booth, but it picked up the focus just fine. So I'm very impressed with the video autofocus as well as the photo autofocus. So I'll definitely run some more tests tomorrow on that.
Dude, and definitely, I'm sure you're gonna do the test, but try to do the rolling shutter one yourself and see.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Make a note on that.
I know you can't really take the card out, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you can tell on there.
I'll just shake it, man.
All right. Looks like Nick had to leave a little while ago. I don't know if he's on there anymore, but Nick, see you later. Dave Sincere says, after reading the specs and watching the videos, I don't think there's anything negative about this. That's actually a really good topic. Is there anything really negative about the camera? We kind of pointed out a few things, but in honesty, I don't feel like it's a huge negative. And we'll definitely get to that next point.
Yeah. Okay. We'll bring it up later.
Well, actually, you already talked about it. Now that I say it, what's your thoughts about having no S-Log on the actual camera? For me, it doesn't really bother me. I typically don't shoot an S-Log anyway. But Jason, you're saying that you don't really need it necessarily.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I talked to them. They're saying like, I don't know if it's like an engineering thing or software thing that they couldn't put S-Log in there, but they're saying like they want this camera to be fast, and S-Log just doesn't seem to fit the speed of the camera, so they just took out S-Log. So yeah, I mean, for the most part on my A7R2, I don't really shoot S-Log on that camera, so I mainly shoot like the creative style anyway. So I'm thinking maybe I could put up with it, but at the same time, what's a super bummer thing is they don't have 4K 60, so that would have been actually a more of an incentive for me to get this camera if it would have at least 4K 60 as well. So that's still kind of like pulling me back and dropping $4,500 on this camera.
Dude, what if within a few months' time there's an A9S, and it has the same feature. Maybe it's 12 frames per second, but it has all the video features you want. Not that I know Sony's going to do that, by the way.
It's sitting right there in your room right now.
That'd be kind of crazy if they did something like that. So
that would be, yeah. So
you don't need 20. Do you really need 20 frames per second, Jason?
Nah.
12, maybe 12 or so. I mean, that's more than enough.
I can live with 12. I mean, like, I'm not a big sports shooter like you are, so you probably need that 20 frames per second. But yeah, we'll see. They didn't. I try to ask them if something like that's going to come out. They're just saying maybe. I mean, they're putting all this cool stuff in this camera, so we can expect the cool stuff to kind of trickle down into the next camera that they're going to come out with the features and specs that we want. And here's the thing: they've been really good at listening to the customers. People who are complaining about the A7R2. Well, guess what? Look at all the features they're putting into the A9 right now. It's all there. So we should just all be a little bit patient. I'm sure the A7S3 or the R3 or A9R or A9S, it's going to be there. They're gonna deliver for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it, man. That's the crazy thing about Sony right now, and everyone that's always bashing on Sony and the name we shall not mention, all that all that stuff about that negativity. Right now, the only thing they're complaining about now is the lenses, and you
Yeah,
got to give Sony time,
yeah,
right? I mean, those of you out there in the chat room, it's like, I know, and again, I've mentioned this in my other video. I'm not a fanboy for Sony. I just appreciate the hardware. Like, it's great. It does amazing stuff, right, Jason? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I appreciate all cameras and
like,
what they do, and I have to admit, Sony is the one being the most innovative one by far.
yeah. And like I said, like we're mentioning right now, the lenses, after they get the lens set up that they want, it's going to be a home run after that. I mean, yeah, it's going to take some time, but they're going to get there. Hey, I know a quick jump to this, but the reason why I knew the A9 was going to drop was because someone told me. I was notified. I'm not going to tell you who, but I was told that they had really good sources saying it was going to happen. So, yes, I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, you're my source. Next time something like that happens, you better let me know. I'll make a prediction video too.
There you go. All right. Yes, it only has one UHS 2 slot, which is, I think it's going to be okay. Why not 2? I think it'll work out just fine.
Yeah, they're saying there's no issue with it, so we're okay.
And Sully's echoing the whole "does it overheat?" Yes, when it's out, man. As soon as I get that camera, it's gonna be summertime, so I'm just gonna bake it in the sun right away. So we'll find out. You know what's really weird? Since Sully's mentioned this, why can't we get an A99 and E mount? How do you feel right now if you bought the A99 Mark II? And then you see I mean, they're completely different price ranges, guys. I understand that, but you're in the A9 the A mount camp. You thought the A99 was going to be the sports camera, which it is, right? All of a sudden, Sony drops E mount, absolute best sports camera right now. I would say just on specs alone. I don't know, Jason. How do you even wrap your head around that as an A mount person? Maybe I know you're not an A mount person, but
It's tough, man. I mean, like, I feel bad for my one friend who uses the A mount. So I don't know. It's tough. I know there's people who's always requesting us to do like A mount videos, but it's just hard because E mount is definitely getting a lot more attention, and you and we jumped into the E mount, so
that's what I'm saying. I really think that E mount is the future. I really personally think they're just kind of keeping the A mount around to keep, to kind of satiate that group of people that still have that equipment. But everything's on the E mount. Everything they're doing development wise is on the E mount right now. So,
yeah.
All right. Programmer QN says, "Are you two cousins?"
How many times we get that question a week?
I remember before I got mistaken for Jason Vong. There was like a little mix up there, and I was like, "That wasn't me. That was Jason Vong's video."
Asians look alike, man. I mistaken another Asian YouTuber. Oh, today was embarrassing.
Oh no. You Tag the Shooter Photography says, "So you can't share photos through your phone through Play Memories." That is.
Oh.
Tag Shooter. That is a good point. Jason asked him that. Ask him that. That's important to me. I like being able to share my images to Instagram right away after I do something. So if you can ask him that, tell Sony, why are you doing this? Maybe there's still a way to wirelessly transfer. It's just not there. Max Europe said the autofocus in video sucked. We gotta wait for more tests. Sully said that. Yeah.
Again, yeah. For the few minutes that I played with it, I was very impressed with video autofocus. So we'll see. I mean, Max Europe spent 2 weeks with crappy autofocus. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that guy's
just all in good jest. All in good jest. You're doing great stuff, Max. I don't think I'll ever see this, but he's also the one that did mention the Alpha 6300 didn't overheat. So, or was it the 6500? I don't remember. So I mean, we just need more time. Once the camera's out and the embargo's out, I think on Wednesday all these videos are going to start popping up, which kind of peeves me that Sony doesn't invite us. Sony, come on.
Yeah,
at least
man.
Jason. At least Jason. Come on.
I'm here.
At least one.
I'm here.
You can get one
Let
of
me
us to go.
Let me
Pick
check my
Jason.
emails, making sure I didn't get anything. Nope, nothing from Sony.
Man, send them out to an event. Jeez, come on. All right. The Fate Factor says, "What's up, guys? I'm so jealous you're at NAB." That's only Jason, but yes.
I'm there.
Shoot, I just skipped a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, all the time. Like,
David Osley, David, how you doing, man?
David, what's up, man?
He's saying this A7S II will have 6K at 60p and 24 megapixels. Woo! You know what? That's the one I think might be possible because of, you know how they downsample from 6K to 4K?
Which the A9 does.
The A9 does. And I think once the videos are out, they're going to realize that the video quality is actually really pretty darn good on the A9. I'm thinking based on the fact that it's a full frame sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can also shoot Super 35 in 4K with the A9 in case that's important to anybody out there.
Yeah.
Me included.
LJCH4E says, I still think the A9 is super nice for the silent shutter, great for wedding or time lapse in cityscapes, all places without bothering people.
Yeah.
Jason, what's your thoughts on the whole silent shutter? How did that kind of get to you, or when you noticed it was like a silent shutter on this camera at 20 frames per second, mind you?
I mean, it's probably not as. I'm sure it's a huge deal for everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wasn't impressed. I definitely am impressed with it, but I think it's, I don't know. For me, it wasn't like the biggest screamer. But when they were showing the comparison between the silent shutter from their older cameras to the new one, all I could think about was the sample photo that you showed us on the live show that one time, Danny. You remember how you're like, your thing was like warped, and I was like, maybe now you won't run into that issue. So
yeah, there was this picture I showed on a previous live stream where it was a student doing color guard. She had thrown a rifle up into the air, and the rifle was literally, obviously a rifle is a straight line, but it was curved like a boomerang. And I brought it up with everybody, and they were saying, oh, it's because you used the silent shutter mode. And I was like, oh, snap, that makes perfect sense. But now Sony is able to refresh the camera fast enough in some way that it doesn't happen. And I'm just blown away because there's times I'll shoot an event, and I know those of you out there, and it's got to be quiet, and you don't want to distract people. And it just, dang, Sony, I don't know what to say. It's just, it's going to make taking pictures like stealing candy from a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Certain situations. I'm not going to say it's going to make you a better photographer, but your ability to get photos in certain environments you wouldn't have been able to get as easily becomes that much easier. Mm-hmm. So, man, shoot. Okay. It's just really pricey. So I just wish it was a $3,500 camera at least. I mean, come on, Sony. Watch, their base A7 Mark III is going to be like 16 frames per second and all that. Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway, I could dream, I guess.
I mean, it's still severely underpriced compared to the 1DX. So,
yeah. Gabe Spangler says something. Now they will wait about 4 months until all the suckers have bought the A9. Yes, I am that sucker, Gabe. Let's see here. Dave Sincere asked, Jason, does Canon have the biggest footprint, you say, at NAB right now?
Yes. Just let me see if I can pull up a map. According to this map, they seem to have the biggest booth there. I can't find it. Just take my word for it. There you go. Oh, well, oh, wait a minute. It looks like Sony's a little bit bigger. Oh,
about the same.
No, Sony is bigger.
Oh, wow.
This is Sony.
Okay.
And right here is Canon. Seems like Sony is a little bigger.
I'm guessing you're going to see their C700, their C300s, and their production cameras.
I would be honest with you. I know nothing about those cameras they're putting out. Like literally, I was like walking into a forest. I didn't know what the cameras that Sony is trying to sell at NAB, or what cameras are demoing. I just went straight to the Alpha series, which was like buried way in the back in a dark. It wasn't that dark, but buried way in the back. So.
Oh man, since this wasn't initially on the list, but since you brought it up, speaking of Canon, okay, 5D Mark IV C-Log update, $99 US. I love Canon, I love their cameras, but I'm just gonna say this right now: you gotta be kidding me, okay? I don't know if any of you out there shoot Canon at all. Probably you might not have your Canon gear anymore. But I was just kind of disappointed in that. I know Canon Rumors was just posting a rumor they had. They thought they were going to get the crop factor fixed on the 4K a little bit better, 3K, high frame rate, all these additional things, better codecs. Nothing of the sort. Canon just goes ahead and drops a C-Log update. And by the way, it's not even a firmware. You got to send the camera in to Canon. You got to pay for your shipping. You got to make sure it doesn't get stolen or lost. And then they got to do the update and send the camera back to you. Oh, man. I hope that doesn't happen with the Sony camera. Maybe there's enough complaints. The Sony A9 might get the S-Log, but I get the C-Log on the Canon. I don't think I really don't. I never really would need it because Canon's colors are pretty good. But I really feel it's a really lackluster thing. So, Jason, if you ever pass by, let me know if they ever advertised that at their booth. Are they even hustling out the 5D Mark IV? Because it was just not.
I'll take a look. Yeah, I was at Canon for a brief bit, and I was kind of overwhelmed, so I left. I was like, I don't know any of these cameras. I'm a mirrorless shooter. I was walking around with this guy while everyone else is like walking with like, yeah. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's really for their production stuff. I mean, you know what I mean? Like their really big production stuff.
Yeah.
And I get the 5D Mark IV C-Log update because you want a B camera. So maybe you have a C300 Mark II on production site, but you also want a B cam. So I totally get the need for the C-Log. I get the whole idea. I'm just the lackluster effort on that part with the potential it could have had. So that's just my thoughts on the 5D Mark IV. So Dave Sincere says he doesn't have any Canon gear. Sully Cortez says he sold all his Canon stuff.
Ooh.
Gabe Spangler says Canon's a joke for video and their DSLR cameras.
Oh,
shots fired. Shots fired. Let's see. I mean, I think Canon's losing that ground. That's the problem. They're slowly losing that edge that they used to have. Dave Sincere brings up a really good point. He says, I think Sony will offer new features in a firmware update on the A9, I'm assuming, if enough people voice their opinion about it. I think so.
Maybe. Or we'll just see it in the next Canon.
I mean, think about it. When we complained about the overheating issue, they did try to address it with a firmware update. I mean, it didn't resolve my issues entirely, but they did try. And even on
they did try.
They did.
But it didn't work. That's my gripe about the 6300.
Yeah, so I'm really thinking that, I mean, if the people voice their opinion on it, I mean, the A9 is a pretty expensive camera. They've got to be able to get S-Log 2 on there. I don't necessarily buy all the tech stuff they're saying, but you know, they could have been able to do it. So, all right. Folks, we are getting closer and closer to our question section of our podcast. We're gonna kind of dive through a couple more news items there. So let's see here. Inder Nandri. So we're jumping into the chat a little bit here. SNEXX. So we're gonna jump to SNEXX. He says, Sony was the worst mistake I ever made. My GF is my girlfriend is livid. I thought it was like a camera. My girlfriend is livid at the prices of the lenses and the fact that some don't even exist. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ooh. We'll get there, man. Sony's kind of working their way out there, but I understand your point. Indernandri says, just wish Sony didn't overheat. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Gabe Spangler says they want to preserve sales for their higher end cameras like the C300 Mark II. I agree. I get that. Crayon 2323 says he's debating on selling all his Canon gear and switching to the A9, coming from the 5D Mark III with the 70 to 200 and the 24 to 70, as well as the Profoto trigger.
Okay, Crayon, just really quickly, this is me dropping the bias and say, try the camera first before you do anything rash. Just make sure the camera works the way you need it to. Don't just jump ship like that. For me, it was easy. I didn't have much Canon stuff to dump, but you seem like you have a lot. So just make sure you try it first.
Yeah, Crayon 2323. I agree. If you don't already know someone that has a Sony camera, or go to a store that has a camera, at least try it out and make sure. I think because you only are using the 70, 200, and 24-70, I think you're going to be right at home, honestly, because you have the lenses already for it, the G Masters. It's just the price, the cost. So if you can stomach the cost and you really want the current tech that's out there, then go for it. But we never really need all the best stuff out there. We just kind of lust for it, I guess. That's just my opinion. All right. Nick K, if you question, is it better to get an intervalometer rather than the Sony time lapse app? Jason, I haven't used it, so have you?
I haven't used it either.
Can't really comment on that. Yeah. I think, can't really comment on that. And two, how does the Sony Star Trail app work? There isn't any YouTube videos out there for it.
Danny, that has your name written all over it.
Oh, whoa.
First one to get that Star Trail app working.
You know what? I think there is a video already out there. It was posted on Sony Off-Rooms. I could be wrong. So I don't know. I'll take a look at it. If not, I mean, at some point I'll try and take a look. But it's not on my radar right now. Sorry. Indernandri says my 6500 and A7R2 don't have my confidence to do overheating. Due to overheating, lens prices and selection also needs more variety. Yeah, those are very. People keep saying like, "Oh man, that one camera guy's a fanboy" and all that stuff. Man, these are issues. I agree. These are big problems. These are real problems, and I'm just hoping, moving forward, that these get resolved. The Alpha 6500, I was recording at a conference. I had it rolling for over an hour. Had the overheating indicator turned on. I was not worried at all. The Alpha 6500. I pointed it at the stage. I was at about an hour's worth of recording, hour and 30 minutes of recording straight at 4K. Yes, I saw the overheating indicator turn on, but I wasn't worried at all. I honestly had zero concern it was going to shut off. So, not even a concern. So, the Alpha 6500 has very good confidence in most cases. So, let's see. Does it blend? Spencer Pablo says. That's going to be an expensive
Spencer Pablo. What's up, Spencer? Mr. Spencer there is a Sony artisan. He's watching us.
Oh, shoot.
Act cool, Daddy. Act cool. A9 is awesome. Sony's the best.
Rishab says, if I sell my gear, I can afford the battery door.
Oh, man.
Of a used A9. Rishab. Ouch.
Oh, speaking of battery, I got hands-on. I touched the new battery. That thing is huge.
It's bigger?
Way bigger than the batteries that we're used to on our cameras. Huge. Lasted the whole day, according to one of the reps behind the counter. I think you guys are gonna like the battery.
I'm so glad they did that. It's gonna suck because we have all these other NPF 50 batteries already. But hey, if the next A7 series comes out and they take advantage of the bigger battery, it's all heading in the right direction, addressing the biggest issues everyone has.
Yeah. Well.
And they shot maybe 3,000 photos, and their battery was still good. So, we will see. I think it's going to be interesting. Hey, Jason.
Yes.
Also, something to test out on the A9. They kind of briefly mentioned it. Someone gave the wrong information earlier on a YouTube video I saw. They said that there was no more lag with the live view. So, point I mean is that you can shoot photos right to the buffer, and then
Okay.
record video right away, or it quickly like unloaded or something like that. But I don't think that's the case. I like to sometimes just shoot photos and quickly jump to video,
Yeah,
but I can't. It says still writing to card.
that happens to me. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was resolved. I
Ooh,
don't think it was.
I don't
So,
think so. That
yeah, I
sounds.
don't think,
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why it won't record video because your camera is already writing to the card. So if you're trying to force it to write video at the same time, that's the
yeah.
issue.
If it can't do that, I want you to check if you get a chance. Take a bunch of photos so the buffer's kind of blinking. See if you can go into the menus. I don't think you can. I was kind of like the actual menu, not the function menu, but the menu, because there's sometimes you want to jump into there and change something. So I'm
Oh,
wondering.
so that's the thing. Your menu is still going to lock for the photos.
See? There you go.
Yeah. So that's what they're saying to me. So that's an official thing from Sony. They're saying if you will get the menu lock when you shoot too much. You can still keep shooting, but you won't be able to adjust your settings like similar to the A7R2 and the 6500.
Dave Sincere, thanks for the comment. He said, I don't think you're a fanboy. He says you're very honest and straight up about what you think. And I do appreciate that, Dave. Yeah, I mean, I call it as it is. I mean, if Sony's doing something wrong, I'm going to call it out. If it's like the Play Memories app and all that stuff, I'm like, why'd you get rid of that? That was unnecessary. All right. Nick K says, thoughts on the GH5? Ooh, we're back to that. People are saying,
No.
oh, it's Panasonic's out there, right? I'm sure they're out there.
They're out there, but I didn't stop by today, so I'll be sure to stop by tomorrow.
People are saying the low light performance is bad and the autofocus sucks. Also, which lens would you buy first for someone who does all photography and video? I think he's talking about Sony 18 to 105, 10 to 18, or 24.
Okay.
Jason, what's your thoughts on the low lights on the GH5?
All right. You know what? It's a micro four thirds. The sensor is just smaller than an APS-C, so obviously the 6500 will still win in low light. But there's a lot of mirrorless shooters out there who shoots with the micro four thirds, and they're able to combat that by using a speed booster, using faster lenses. I mean, like, we shot weddings with the Panasonic GH4 before. I know a lot of people have issues with the low lights at receptions and stuff like that. But for the most part, we've been okay. I mean, like, it looks not bad. So for the new GH5 to shoot at 6400 ISO, I think it's still very usable. It's still miles ahead of what it was before. So
yeah.
Autofocus, again, I mean, it's a contrast detection. Obviously, it's not using phase detection in the 6500 and A7R2. That's why it's slow. I feel like the contrast detection is very similar to that of the A7S2. So if you look at the A7S2, the autofocus isn't that great. So yeah, GH5 is still a really good camera. Yes, the autofocus is not as good, but I think the issue was Panasonic was overhyping the autofocus. That's what ended up blowing up in their face. But me, as someone who used the GH4 before, I never had high hopes for the autofocus, so it didn't affect me as much.
Yeah, really good points. And then Nick K, as far as the lenses, if you're doing photography and video, I would probably say get the 18 to 105 f4. It's a bit more flexible, covers more range. 10 to 18 is great for the ultra wide end, and if you still have a budget, get the 50mm f1.8 so you have a fast prime. So that's my opinion. Jason?
Question is what lens to get?
Yeah, he mentioned 18 105, 10 to 18, or 24.
I like the 24. I'm rocking the 24. Love it. It looks like the 55, but it's not. 35mm equivalent, 1.8. Great lens. Love it a lot.
Man, let's see. Abel Sanchez says, I need some of those A9 features to show up on a A7R3 before my Canon gear has to go. Hopefully this year. I'm sure, like we said, they're going to trickle down. They're going to trickle down. So
it's going to come. These new features that we're seeing right now, it's going to come.
Yeah, it has to. I mean,
think about it now. Sony now has a camera for low light, high resolution, and now speed. They have a camera for different jobs.
Hey, now that you mention it, do you want to jump into that little thing that you want to mention about the A9? Share it with the audience.
If it's what I told you about, I can't.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep a teaser on it, but he's got some inside info. But Jason's gonna hold out on that.
I'll hold it. I gotta respect them because they told me and other people. I gotta be cool with them.
Okay.
But you guys will know soon. You guys will know soon.
Such a teaser.
It's not like a super insider thing. It's just something that's unscientific. So, okay. Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, Jason, we're going to jump onto the actual lens that was released or announced in conjunction with the Sony A9.
Okay, that's probably going to be on you, man.
Yeah, really briefly. I mean, honestly, the Sony 100-400 G Master. If Sony wanted to just send one to me, I would love to try it out. Hey, you know what? Now that I mentioned that, Sony never sent me my stuff, man. They never got to me.
Oh no, they didn't.
So Dave Sincere saying about keeping Sony honest. Yeah, Sony never got to me about I requested 2 lenses. They pro support never contacted me back. So it was like more than a week already. So
what?
Womp womp womp. That's a little nick on their armor right now.
Maybe they're busy with NAB. They were out. Pro support was out for the Sony event. They could have been busy.
I mean, hey, it's just that one camera guy. So I mean, it's all good. So once NAB's out, I'll hit them up again and see what they do. Maybe I can request. No, that's pointless. I was gonna say send me a Sony A9. I'm like, oh yeah, I already got one coming in. So.
The pro support team was at the launch. Well, not the launch, but the announcement event. But yeah, try it again. That sucks though. That does suck.
Yeah, I wanted it for San Diego when I was out there, try it out, but yeah, it's all good, man.
You should have told me. I would have shipped you mine. I'm your pro support, dude.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, the 100-400. Sorry, we just tangent on there. So the Sony 100-400 is an f4.5 to 5.6 lens. So Canon's got one. Nikon's got one, and maybe some third-party manufacturers make one as well. I think was it Sigma? Did Sigma bust out a 100-400? I think maybe. I'm not sure. Jason, what do you think?
I think they did, right? 150 to something. It was 4 lenses that they announced.
Yeah.
150 to 600 or something.
They have a 100-400 now. Their 100-400 from Sigma is a 5 to 6.3. So this one's not bad. All right, so here's the thing about that lens, and I think most of you kind of already know. That lens is really for people that need a lot more reach, maybe for the wildlife people. But for the sports people, well, for me personally, it's really tough for high school arenas, especially for like football, high school football. During the daytime, I think it worked well. But 5.6 in the evening is just not going to cut it unless, we find out more on how well the performance on the low light on that camera is. But right now, we just don't. So the Sony 100-400, the only thing I like about it is if you get it, you can get up to 800 millimeters at like f11, f8, f11 with the 2x teleconverter. So if you're doing wildlife and you need that reach, I think that's your only option for right now. For me, Jason, you got a 7200 G Master?
Yes, sir.
I got a 7200 G Master, and I got the extenders, and that's all I really need. So I'm just gonna skip that lens altogether, unless I can get one for review. So, all right, comments. Let's see here. Let's see. Dave Sincere says they pulled a Matt Granger on you. That's what Matt says. What made him give up on Sony. Spencer Pablo says try pro support when they come back from the trade show. Seriously. Yeah, definitely. I will hit them up. Let's see. Anthony Dooley says, hey, you were not the only one not invited. Jared Poland has been pretty mad about it too.
Oh, dude. I feel like he always gets gypped out of Sony events.
Maybe because his foot's in the door with Canon and Nikon. Pretty big foot.
But I mean, he's pretty. I don't know. he made a really solid RX 104 review. Like literally, that was some well-produced review. And I actually downloaded it, watched it on a plane. It was really solid. I watched it. I think it was like an hour long. It was really well-produced. So I don't understand why he's not invited, because it was some. He did some nice review on it.
Man, if you see Max or something, ask him, man, how'd you get invited? Is there like a golden ticket? Can you put me on a guest list or something?
Yeah, I want to ask him and Dan Watson. I'm like,
there you go.
You guys need to get me in.
how do I go? You know, do I got to have like a news organization or something? So
I think you can get in as press, man. I mean, like you do some solid stuff, very detailed stuff. I'm just like videos of me just messing around.
Nah, you're too kind, Jason. I think you're gonna get there, man. You're gonna get there first, and I will. But then just throw my name out there once you're there.
Yeah. Fly him out from middle of nowhere.
And I personally would have trouble trying to get to these events too, just because I'm busy at work. So it just depends. Hey folks, you know what? We're at 76 viewers right now. That's the most my channel has ever gotten. Thank you for everyone that's out there right now watching us crazy two people here. Really quick again, Jason is at NAB, and we will get to a question section where we'll just kind of fire through questions, but maybe you have something you want him to check out at NAB for you. He can do that. And also, if you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up to get some more visibility. And once again, I love all of you out there who are watching this channel. And all of a sudden, we lost a bunch of viewers, but that's great.
They're like, oh, these guys are done. Stop.
Charlie Brown, I'll see you later, man. He says heading out for the night. Keep cruising. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Charlie.
GON Joss Plaza says, damn, my fro bro did not get invited. Wow.
He lives so close to New York. I'm surprised he wasn't out there.
I wonder if you can just show up. Just show up and see what happens.
Okay.
They're like, we know who you are, but Sony execs just don't want you here yet.
No, not you.
All right, let's jump to the next item on the list. It's the Sony GP-X1 EM, and I hope Jason gets a chance to see this. It's this like partial adapter that you attach to the bottom of the camera. It's not a full-on grip, but it gives your pinky the A9. It's retailing for about $100. My question for you, those of you out there right now, let's say you don't have the A9, you got an A7R2, A7S2, A7 II, would you want to get one for by the way, it works on those cameras. Would you want to buy one of those grips? Let me know. Jason, your thoughts on that grip. That's a partial grip.
I saw a video on it. Well, not a video, but like a thumbnail of it. Dan Watson, but I didn't actually get a chance to really dig into it. It looks cool. Not something I would exactly need. Is this just for like grip purposes?
I think if your hands are slightly bigger, it gives your pinky a place to go. I think that's the big thing about it.
I have tiny Asian hands, so that A9 felt really comfortable already, so I don't think I'd be needing this, but all right.
You know, it was really funny, and I don't know if I don't know if it's some of you guys watched with Max Europe, but they were saying how Max has like really big fingers, that when he placed his hands on the grip on the A9, his fingers were rubbing up against the actual lens already. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Let me see on my A6500 right here. Now my fingers reach through, so they're not doing too bad.
Yeah, mine's
okay. Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, I don't have really. I'm lucky I don't have any issues with that. So
yeah, our Asian hands, they're too small. Hey, Sony's Japanese, right? They designed it for the Japanese market.
You got it, right? And at least they can track our eyes. That's a good thing. Oh man. All right. Let's see here. Alex Sandoval asked Jason, any gambling out there?
Not yet, but maybe after the live show, we're gonna run downstairs and I gotta work for that A9. It's gotta be through gambling.
Just do roulette. Put it all on there, man. Just put your camera on there. Carl Ryan says the name we shall not mention wasn't invited either. That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Wait, who should we not mention? What? Who's this?
Oh, it's the angry photographer. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
I saw his video got posted on Facebook groups. I didn't watch it.
I know he did a video that was kind of really like kind of really negative on the A9. It had nothing really nice to say because he was really harping about the specs on the actual camera and saying this and that about it. But I mean, he's evaluated stuff specs alone, I could assume, but you got to give Sony some credit. You can't just keep bashing on the guys over and over and over.
Nah, he's just playing on the hype, I think. Yeah. Has he ever commented on your videos before?
It's happened. It's happened. I mean, we had a light conversation because I was thinking about getting a D500, so I just kind of shot him. Like, since we were having that conversation, I just asked him, hey, you know what lens? I'm looking for like a 70, like the 70-200 or a 300 millimeter f2.8 that's affordable. But I never jumped on the Nikon D500 wagon thing, so yeah.
Okay. He left a comment. It was pretty mean. I ignored it. I was like, you just want attention, so I'm not going to give you the attention.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, don't let it get to you.
I mean, what's the point of me like responding to him when he's already so thick-headed on like not liking Sony? It's just he's there. Whatever.
The day will come when Sony won't give the good sensors to Nikon right away. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen, and it's starting to happen.
Yep.
And Sony's going to hold back on a little bit, keep the good stuff for Sony.
Oh, so, yeah, they got that stacked CMOS sensor on their new camera.
I wonder if they can implement that into a DSLR. I doubt they can. I don't know. No idea. That's amazing. Let's see here. JW Studios, your boy is back. Hey, man.
Welcome back.
Sully Cortez says, F that grip.
Dang.
Sully. Let's see. David Osler says, I think the grip is silly. You need to take it off to replace the battery. Oh, snap. Yeah, that's right. And you can't use a tripod, right? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think that's
Dan Watson. Dan Watson wasn't very clear with it in his video, so he had a video on it. LJCH says, "Who's that angry photographer? The bald guy?"
Yeah. I think his username is like Aristotle Apocalypse or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I mean he's doing his thing. I have nothing against the guy. I mean, you watch him. He has some good info. You get some stuff out of it, and you take it for what it is. He has some
his role. Yeah, he's fulfilling his role as an angry photographer. So he's doing his job.
Yeah, honestly, he has a really successful channel, even though you might not think that. But anyhow, I think we're caught up on all the news, honestly, unless you want to add anything. But as we're on that, guys, those of you in the chat, if you actually have some additional questions for Jason Vong and I, just start dropping them in right now. Add a question mark at the end. They'll help me kind of see it quicker. And we can go ahead and kind of shotgun through those and get through those questions right away. Jason, is there anything else you want to add before we kind of migrate our way to there? Any other news?
Not that I know of. I don't know. DJI Ronin 2 and small HD 5-inch. I don't know too much about
you were talking earlier before on the pre-show was the Zhiyun phone. Oh, yeah. You said you're gonna definitely check one of those out.
Or what did I say? Oh, I played with this thing. It was cool. This thing's awesome. This thing is smooth as heck. I was ready to drop $139 to get this thing like today, but they didn't have it there because I was just thinking, how cool would it be if I go Facebook Live tomorrow with my phone and have this smooth keel with me? But you know what? I think the internet's pretty crappy there anyway, so I probably wouldn't have. It probably wouldn't have mattered how smooth my footage was if I'm going to be pixelated as crap. So, but yeah, if they had this in stock, this thing is amazing, super cool.
Man, I gotta be on the lookout for that. That looks really cool. I think that's gonna have a really big impact. I mean, everybody's got a phone, and Now you have smooth access to smooth video. It's like $139 US.
Yeah, it's what 60 bucks cheaper than the DJI Osmo Mobile, and this thing is like it has a 1/4 inch on the bottom. You can mount it onto a tripod. You can charge your phone at the same time with this thing, or you can like power this thing with a USB charger too. So this thing is crazy for what it can do. Like Jiyun is really kicking butt with this handheld gimbal.
Oh my gosh, that is wow.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. I have some footage that I shot. Not really anything cool, but I'm gonna go back to the booth again. I think tomorrow I want to do some extensive coverages. Just today was just more like eye candy. Just want to go out and see stuff, but more importantly, to play with the A9, just so I can talk about it when I'm here in this chat.
And thanks for that, Jason. I really appreciate that hustle to get some hands on with the A9, man.
Yeah, I wish I had some more time, but for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and tackle some of the questions on the actual list here. Dave Sincere says, why are all the long-range lenses white? And do you think maybe the Play Memories apps will return on the A9? Sorry, hold on. Let me get that. Why are all the long-range lenses white? What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was hoping you would know.
I think it's just something with Canon. You know, it's like the lenses will bounce off that light, and you won't have any issues with it. So, yeah. EC Lundberg, do you think maybe the Play Memories app will return on the A9? Jason, what do you think? You think they'll do it?
I didn't get a clear answer to this, but was it officially said it was dropped from the A9? Or it's just people were just reporting that it wasn't there?
They're saying it's not there, man. There's no Play Memories.
It's still. I mean, like, unless it's officially stated that it's not going to be an A9, maybe it's a pre-production model thing. I mean, like, there's no they probably omitted it so that people don't actually transfer the photo to their phone and share it on the internet. That could be a thing too. So, I'm not seeing any official release on that.
You know
we'll
what?
see.
That is the first interesting point you've made, Jason. That
like this entire
not
show.
That first, not that's not what I meant, but.
Oh my god! The first you said this one.
No, your point makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Disable the Play Memories, so you can't transfer the image.
So that's
shoot. Nah, it can't be that. I wouldn't think they'd do that. I don't know. It's a good hypothesis. I think it's a good theory, though. Not gonna lie. You should just tell them that. Be like, hey, did you do that for that reason?
Probably because you can't take in, they seal that thing shut, so you can't put your own cards in. I can't even take a look at what the Ethernet cable thing looks like. So that's, again, it's very standard. I mean, GH5, when I went to go play with it, I couldn't put my own SD card in it, so it's very standard. So we'll definitely wait.
All right. Do you think maybe the Play Memories app will return on the 8? Okay. Should I buy the 50mm? Okay. JW City says, should I buy the 50mm 1.8 for talking to the camera?
What?
So I guess like sit down talk like this.
What was the question? Sorry, I missed it.
Should I get the 50mm f1.8?
Oh, okay. On what body?
If it's a 6500, look, this is the 10 to 18. So here's that 10 millimeters. Here's 18, and the camera is about 1 foot away from me. So 18 is already really zoomed in.
Yeah.
For this kind of stuff. So I don't know how far you want the camera away, JW Studios, but I think you might want to either go for a 35 or the 24 that Jason.
Yeah, honestly, I find if you're like doing something like what we're doing right now, you might want to get that wide angle. Yeah, you don't want to get a 50. I never really liked shooting with the 50. I shot 50 on a crop body in some of my recent videos, which you can check out, but in my opinion, it's still really close.
Yeah. Alan Andrews asked, what's a good external drive that's fast enough to edit 4K video? All right, since we both use 2 different operating systems.
I use both PC and Mac, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, you do use Mac a little bit more, right? Or
yeah, way more. Just because of the portability.
So Jason, what do you think? What kind of drive?
Samsung 850 SSDs in RAID 0.
Samsung 850 SSD
in RAID 0.
in RAID 0. In RAID
2.
Two of them.
So
That's
wait,
suggested by my friend Winston.
that's an external drive, Winston?
Oh, is it external drive?
Yes.
Yes. Me personally, I use the Samsung T1, which they don't make that anymore. They make a T3, but that's a tiny little SSD thing that I use to edit off of, so it works for me.
Yeah, I was going to echo the Samsung T3. That was the first thing that went through my mind. I kind of drag my files into my computer if I can, and then transfer the stuff I don't need to a drive, so I get the fastest work with my stuff. But that's a really tough, you have to kind of test that out a little bit. So I don't know if you're using Windows, you're using Premiere or Final Cut.
I do USB 3.0 for the most part. I don't use Thunderbolt too much. I mean, if I have the option to, I'll definitely use the Thunderbolt. But for the most part, 3.0, I've been editing 4K weddings without too much of an issue.
Yeah. All right, Nick K asked, any news on a Sony APS-C camera?
What? On a new APS-C camera, Sony?
Any news? Any news on that?
This just came out. I don't think they want to release another one. People will have pitchforks coming at Sony if they release another APS-C camera after the 6500. This thing, easily, you guys need to get this camera if you guys want a good APS-C camera. This thing's awesome.
What? Now that you bring that up, those of you in the chat, what if Sony released a full body APS-C camera? What are your thoughts on that, guys? So basically like an A7, but APS-C body. APS-C size sensor. That's, I don't know. I'm just thinking on the top of my head. No idea. I'm just throwing weird things out there. All right. So Nick K, unfortunately, I have no information on that. If I did, I'd kind of leak some of that stuff in a leak video. So fortunately, I don't.
He needs to go to his Sony truck to dig in.
Yeah, deeper. I just got to check the Sony truck again. I think I'll find something. All right. Sully Cortez, don't you want to see more faster APS-C zooms for Sony?
Yes. But it seems like they're super concentrating on full frame right now, so APS-C bros, we're going to have to wait a little bit.
I'm guessing, Sully, you're thinking more like an 18 to 35 f1.8 or the 50 to 100 f1.8 kind of deal. It's going all in on their full frame stuff, man. Right now, that's their focus. So it sucks. It really does suck because it's expensive. The equipment and gear is pretty pricey. I wish they did.
Yeah, because you got people talking that Sony doesn't have a variety of glass, so they need to supply that. So they're concentrating on that full frame.
All right, I Asperity asks 90mm macro or the 85mm G Master. I love to take macro photography, but I also love the bokeh and background blur of the 85 GM. It seems like the DxO Mark says the 90mm macro is actually sharper over the 85mm GM. Jason, if you had to choose, which one would you get?
Well,
you already have the 85. So.
Why not both?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
What do you shoot more, macro or do you shoot more portraits? I'm in a different position. I don't shoot too much macro stuff, and I can get away with my 30mm macro. So tough. Yeah.
Look, IS30, get the 90mm macro, and the reason why you said you love taking macro photography.
Yeah.
There's the blur and the outside stuff it's not going to really matter at that point. Get the one that lens that you love to use. So because you're going to use it. Nick K, Zhiyun Crane plus Alpha 6500. Whoa, can you do pan and tilt time lapses with it? That's you, Jason.
You know what? I think you can. Don't quote me on it. I probably need to do some research, and I'm happy to ask June tomorrow if you want me to. Just shoot me a reminder. I want to say you can. Yeah, because there's a cord that you can connect to your camera and to the gimbal, and it would just take pictures. It would just move and take pictures. So again, I'm not too entirely sure, but definitely poke me again.
Anthony Dooley, what was the most intense photo shoot you have done? Like when you were done, you felt exhausted.
What was that?
What was the most intense photo shoot you have done? Like when you were done, you felt exhausted.
Honestly, just wedding films every time.
I could imagine, man. I remember those shootings, a couple wedding videos, man. It's like a whole day. You're tired.
You're
and
hungry.
Yeah.
You're hangry.
It's tough too. Sometimes you don't know if you should eat what they feed you. And I'm like, I kind of got to shoot some more B-roll or record something else. So, Jason, while we're on that topic, how do you approach that? You're shooting at the wedding. They offer you a seat for food. Do you take it? Do you not take it? What do you do?
Well, generally, there's a dedicated time where vendors can sit down to eat. So we'll take it. We'll take it. So usually we do have 2 shooters. So just in case something's about to go down, one of us will go out and cover it. So hasn't been too much of an issue for us. The only issue that I ever have is they don't feed us the time that they said they would. And I'm just like, do you want me to die?
All right, Dave Sincere says to Jason Vong, is it like a wild house at NAB? Any speakers you're looking forward to catching?
Oh, yeah. I want to catch one of Matt Workman's from Cinematography Datafaces, one of his presentations. He's at Aperture for the most part, but I definitely want to catch him talking, just to meet up. In terms of, I really don't know who's speaking. I really just came into this blind, and I'm not going to lie, the only reason I came was for the A9. So well worth the drive. It was a lot of fun, but I'm definitely interested in checking out some other stuff. So, and let me know if there's any interesting speakers I should check out, or any interesting products that you guys think I should go. So shoot me an Instagram message. I know maybe some of you guys have been messaging me on Facebook and all that stuff, and I haven't gotten back to you guys, but send it through anyways.
All right. While I'm trying to burp here, excuse me. Shoot. Mio Aug says Sony 35mm f1.8 or the 28mm FE f2 for the Sony Alpha 6500. I would get the 28mm FE f2, and the reason why is because you have in-body image stabilization on the Alpha 6500. It's a little bit wider, and you can always use that lens full frame wise on full frame, obviously. Jason, your thoughts?
Totally agree. I think for the most part, I don't have experience with the 35-1.8. That's the APS-C one, right? Well, the 28.
Yeah, the 35 is APS-C. The 28 is full frame. So
yeah, both 28.
Oh shoot, am I getting lost? Okay, no, we're gonna try and move faster. Sorry guys. All right, here we go. LJC. Okay, he's responding. Harvey. Recently bought. Alex Sandoval asks, I recently bought an A7R II, so now I'm looking for a good street photography lens. I really want the 24-70 f2.8, but that price is a turnoff to me. What would be a good recommendation for full frame? A 50? 55? I mean, I'm looking at a focal length range between 24 and 70.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't shoot street photography. I'm gonna say a 50 or the Zeiss 55. That's what I'm gonna say. Jason?
I like the 30. I like the 35-1.4.
Okay.
Or if you like a low profile 35-2.8 would be a good one.
All right. Cool. Crayon 2323. Any idea about what specific FPS can you review a previous shot without waiting for the buffer to clear as on the RX1R2? I guess you're talking about when you're taking pictures, what happens with the buffer, and are you able to see the photos on there? I haven't used the RX1R2, unfortunately. Can't really comment on that. Jason, you?
Mm-mm.
Sorry, man. I can't really comment on that. All right,
We don't.
David Osler, I got that gimbal on order, Jason. So David.
Boom.
Dave Sincere asked Jason Vong, did you get recognized by any participants at NAB? I think we brought that up at the pre-show, but Jason, where are you recognized?
Oh, well, one of the Sony reps, he was like, you look familiar. Might have seen you on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, maybe. That's being
That's good. You're getting recognized finally.
Yeah, a few Sony rep. Actually, another Sony rep. Actually, I talked to. His name is Jimmy. Great, super cool dude. Not a tech rep. He watched my video, so he's the one who told me Locke was at NAB, and I totally missed him by like 6 hours. So mad.
That means he's still there, right?
He's here. He's here with Photo Gear News. He has like a giant red button shirt. So,
Dude, you're gonna bump into him, man. You know,
there's so many people here. Though.
You'll get a chance to.
Yeah. Hope so.
All right. Clouder TV says, is the A7 dead or will they refresh in June? Clouder TV says that. Jason, your thoughts on, is A7 donezo? Are they going to A9? What's the deal?
I don't know. I mean, Sony Alpha Rumors is telling me they are indeed going with the A9S and the A9R. So I don't know if A7 they left the A7 series, but it's tough for me to comment. It doesn't honestly. It doesn't really matter to me what they're calling it. It's just the camera. So whatever it is, fits my need, I'll get it. So
the only thing I would say is that the A9 is really their flagship. It's really a flagship at this point. A9's like boom, top of the line. Maybe they won't. I personally think the A7 series isn't dead, because the price range is a different market. The A9 looks like you got the high rollers here at the A9 level, and the A7 level is still good gear, but it's kind of at a more reasonable price. Well, what reasonable is just depends on who, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean, guys. I know people are going to say $3,500, falls out of the sky, but it's not. It's expensive to a lot of people. So, all right. Nick K says the Sony truck is actually in his backyard.
How many Sony trucks are out there?
Too many. It's gonna be funny, honestly, about that truck disappearing. Someone has like a buttload of A9s. Like, imagine, you know how on some of the videos, I don't know if you saw someone, they were doing the events where they were testing out the A9s with some of the YouTuber people, the news folks. They had like a bunch of A9s just hanging out there. They had a bunch of 100 to 400s. I was like, what if they found that truck? Oh shoot.
You know what? I think I have a new theory. They stole a truck, but they didn't find the A9. They just found like a bunch of giant camcorders. So they're just like, whatever, just threw it off on the road. They were just disappointed.
I mean, I would imagine it'd be hard to sell that stuff too. I mean, but I'm sure there's somebody who's going to buy it.
Would you sell it too?
That's why they probably have tags on them in some way of tracking them down later on. The Fate Factory says wedding films are super draining. Snacks to keep your energy high are much needed through the day. Also, vendor/guest meals are a must.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Arnold Galanato says, did you get any Sony swag at NAB? If so, can you give me some?
No swags yet. But I don't. Again, I think it's just like really a professional show, not really open up to the public. So actually, I don't know. I did see Adam was tossing out some goodies, so we'll see. But as far as I'm concerned, I didn't receive any good stuff.
What if you see Kai? Is he going to NAB?
Kai is in YouTube space right now, somewhere in the world, so he's not here. But
he's too cool for everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Dave Sincere says, do you ever color calibrate your monitor? I bought the Data Color Spider 5 Pro for $150. It made my monitor super dim, and I contacted customer support, and they said it's supposed to be dim. Jason, do you color calibrate?
Do you have experience with that?
Color calibrate?
Yeah.
So, in what sense? Generally, you want your camera to match the screen.
Okay.
And you want to calibrate it every set number of weeks or days.
Okay. Does it go dim when you calibrate the monitor?
It should.
Okay. Yeah.
You should never have your monitor at 100%.
Yeah. So it seems like it seems common, I guess. I've only used the Spider Pro once in my life. Didn't seem like it was my thing, so I just dropped it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, little flub there. I haven't calibrated my monitor. I really should probably, but I don't really have a whole lot of experience with it, Dave. Sorry. LJHCH4E, I think I got that wrong, says, be right back. It's time for me to get ramen with broccoli, or maybe I want chicken nuggets. Sounds
I was
good.
going to comment. But ramen does sound good right now.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
Sounds good. Anthony
Hungry for the A9.
Anthony says, any chance they make a Pro APS-C A9000? I think it's going to happen, Anthony. That's my opinion. I think it's going to happen because some people need reach with their system, and APS-C gives you that 1.5x crop factor. So if it's not right now happening, it might happen in the horizon in the near future. Jason, what are your thoughts? I think we talked about it a little bit already, but
Same thought process.
It's going to happen. Let's see. Steve, where have you been, Steve? He says, what cage for the A7R2? You know what? My friends at Small Rig, I don't know if we're really friends, but they reached out to me. They sent me a cage for the A7R2.
To me.
They sent that cage out to me. I haven't really used it a whole lot, so I need to get some more testing with it. But I mean, it's affordable. It's not going to break the bank, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going with right now. Steve, is the Small Rig cage for the A7R2.
Looks good.
All right. Dave Sincere, is there any advantage to using a cage?
Well, if you are a video person, you can mount a whole bunch of stuff to this thing. So that's a huge advantage. And yeah, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah,
for photography, I don't know.
You know, when I made my Small Rig cage video, Dave, a lot of people out there said they bought the cage just so they could protect their camera, like the A6000 series.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I've never really heard a photographer put a cage on their system.
Yeah, I was surprised. People are saying they like it because it's compact still, and it just protects the camera's exterior, like, you know, from any like major hits or anything like that. So
yeah. I can comment that I can still grip it just fine. It feels a little awkward, but yeah, grips just fine.
I think we've gotten to the questions, Jason.
Cool.
Folks, thank you for interacting with us. We're not quite done yet. We got one last thing here. I think we're on the upcoming projects portion of our podcast as we begin to wind down. I got to jump to this question right now, guys. Arnold Gallinado said, should I get surgery to repair my ACL or buy a Sony A9 with 1 or 2 G Master lenses?
You know,
I'm gonna leave the comment section to help you out, Arnold.
I mean, getting an A9 sounds less painful.
Oh, jeez.
And I think A9 will induce more happiness in your life.
Yeah, man. I get the surgery, man. If you gotta get the ACL taken care of, take care of the ACL, man.
I don't know about that, Danny.
Okay, that's fine. We can disagree. We can disagree. All right, so folks, we are on the upcoming projects portion now. Jason Vong, what's on your horizon as far as upcoming projects that you're going to tackle?
Man, I don't know. I shot some photos, so I want to put out some BTS for that. So definitely keep a lookout on that. For the most part, I think this week there'll be just a bunch of NAB videos coming out. Maybe not a bunch, but like a few more. Like, yeah, So the recent videos you guys can expect will be just pretty much NAB related. So tune back in next week if that's not your thing. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I have weddings coming up.
Oh yeah, you're advertising. Did you find somebody already?
No, that's the thing. You know, I have so many messages and emails I still need to get through, but I was driving to NAB and I just, I just wanted to enjoy the show. But for the most part, yeah, if you sent me a message regarding to do second shooting for me, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm actually very surprised that a few people are willing to just to like fly out and just second shoot for me. I'm just like, whoa.
Oh snap!
Greg Adams status.
Oh shoot! I should ask for that sometime and see if anybody's wanna. I don't really shoot weddings, so.
Just so you guys know, I'm not shooting any glamorous wedding. This is just a very, very standard gig. So please, please.
I think they just want to meet you, man. Just an opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, no need to fly out though. No need to fly out. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it local. So if one of you guys are out there right now, again, I'm trying to keep it local and someone who has basic Mandarin skills, it would definitely help a lot. I know it's not mandatory, but it doesn't help if both of us doesn't speak Mandarin. And client is mainland Chinese people. So
oh boy.
No second English.
Whew. All right, upcoming projects. Most of the sporting events that are happening at the high school are kind of winding down, so it's kind of trying to get some stuff done. So I don't know what I'm going to review or do. I might work on some more tutorials for you guys. I had a couple of scripts ready, but my San Diego trip kind of threw me off. You know what's really cool? At the San Diego trip, there were students competing for digital cinema. I've never seen an actual Blackmagic production camera out of the field for whatever reason, but a high school student had it for the competition. I was like, crap, my kids don't have that Blackmagic production camera. We were using Canon 60Ds to record. I was like, crap, what the heck?
Wow, at least you guys had cameras. We didn't have anything. No, that sounds amazing. You know what? Speaking of which, when is summertime for you, Danny?
I think after the month of May, I'm out. So.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you'll have the A9.
All right. That's what sucks. I will have the A9 the moment all this stuff's over.
Oh, okay.
That's what kind of sucks too. So I'm gonna have to find some local sports and things that are still happening around the area, which there are. But maybe not like the high school level, maybe like the younger kids, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll play any sports you need me to play, and you can photograph me.
Yeah, for sure.
I used to swim too, so I can do some swimming if you want. I play crappy tennis, if that floats your boat.
Okay.
I can run a little bit, might get tired after 2 seconds, but I think that's plenty enough for that 20 frames.
Oh, man. Folks, that is going to do it for me and Jason Vong. Once again, thank you so much. And before you head on out, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. If you missed the show, it is going to be posted. It's going to be available for you. I think you can watch it right away. But once again, thank you for everyone that came tonight to watch. Jason Vong will be hosting the show next week. And he will definitely get that information out there for you.
Cool.
So, Jason Vong, any last words?
No, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, appreciate that you guys are here joining me and Danny. And you know what? For sticking around, even though we started the show a little late. You guys are awesome. Thank you again.
Big time. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later.
Peace.